Good morning and welcome to Living Life with LaVon. Today is August the 26th, 2022, and I am going to talk to you about my liposuction and tummy tuck journey. I had both of those done September 1st, 2021. And the total healing time is 1 year. So in a couple of days, my 1 year will be up. So I want to walk you through some of the processes, some of the things that I had to do. I want to invite you guys to definitely come ask questions, comments, things like that, because I'm sure after a whole year worth of the process, I'm going to forget a lot of things. But if you ask me questions, I'll remember, I'll answer. I do have pictures. I have before and after pictures. I have some pictures that might be a little gross, so you have to kind of pick and choose which one of the pictures you want to look at. So I have been wanting to have this procedure done for over 30 years. I have always been, my figure has always been a little different. I have no hips. My hips before I had this done were a size 34. I have a very large breast. My breasts are a 42 double D, and I had a large waist. My waist was a 48. So as you can imagine, my waist was bigger than everything. So over my life, I have had multiple surgeries on my abdomen. I've had 3 C-sections. I've had a hysterectomy. So I have had a lot of scar tissue, I guess, which would not allow me to lose weight in certain areas of the abdomen. First of all, after all those surgeries, the skin just hung so low, and then there was this indentation in the middle. It was like, let me show you. There was an indentation right here. So I had this stomach here, and then there was another stomach here that just hang. It sat on top of my legs. So whenever I would sit down, I had this extra stomach sitting on top of my legs. So I never saw the top of my thighs for almost 30 years. It's interesting that once they cut that off, I could see my legs, So anyway, I had gone to, at least 30 years ago, I had gone to a plastic surgeon and, just to do a consultation and see how much it cost and all of that. Back then, I think it was I know it was over $10,000. I can't remember exactly what it was, but back then it was out of my price range. So, and then they told me not only would I need the tummy tuck, I would also need liposuction. So let me explain what the two are. A tummy tuck is called abdominoplasty. It's a surgical procedure where they actually cut you. Let me show you. They cut me from here to here, cut a line here, pull that skin down. That's when they cut the line and pull that skin off. Okay, so they are cutting the skin off, and then they pull the skin up, they go up under there, and they tighten the muscles, they sew the muscles together. So it's not like I have an 8-pack or a 6-pack or anything like that, which I thought. But no, they just tighten the muscles, and then they pull that skin back, they pull it really, really tight, and then they sew it back together. They sew you back together. So, of course, I have a scar that comes all the way from here, from hip to hip, okay? But during the surgery, after the surgery, they give you all kinds of creams and tell you how to get rid of the scar and stuff, okay? So basically that's what the tummy tuck is. They have different types of tummy tucks. They have like a full tummy tuck, a partial tummy tuck, and things, but I wanted the whole thing. They also said because I had so much fat going around there that I would need liposuction. So liposuction is when they take this tube and they stick it in you and they suck all of this fat out. And it goes into this container and you see all this fat in this container. And I'll show you pictures of my fat in the containers. If you want, I can show you the piece that they cut off, because they cut it off and put it on a table. They took a picture of it. I can show you pictures of course, like I said, I'm going to show you some before and after pictures, but I mean, if you want to see some of the surgical type pictures, I can show you a few of those. Okay, so fast forward to 30 years sooner, when I finally decided to get it, I said, if I'm going to get it, I want everything done, right? Because I wanted a breast reduction because, of course, my back hurts all the time because my breasts are so large. So, I remember I have diabetes. So they said because I have diabetes, one thing, I could not be under sedation for too long. Two things is, what else they couldn't do? Oh, well, for one, another thing, the insurance would not cover it. I thought I could get the insurance to cover it because, you know, it does cause problems. It was like a medical issue. So, come to find out the insurance would not cover it. So, you know, I didn't really care. I was going to pay for it because I wanted it. If I was going to get part of it done, I wanted everything done. I knew that, you know, I was not going to be a 38, 24, 36 or anything like that, because remember, my hips are already only 34, so I don't have any hips. They're not going to be out like that. I have absolutely no butt. Okay, my butt indents, I'm sorry, that's just how it is. I never thought about getting a Brazilian, not the Brazilian, what is it called? The butt lift, a BBL, some kind of butt lift where they put stuff in you to do that. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So I wound up only getting the tummy tuck and the liposuction, okay? So what I did, you know, I live in Florida, and Florida has a lot of cosmetic surgeons, especially in Miami, but I'm 4 hours away from Miami. I didn't really want to go to Miami to get this done. But I searched around and I looked at reviews and I looked at before and after pictures from all these different doctors, and that's basically what you need to do. You need to research this before you go out there and get this done. Research, you know, reviews to see if, oh, this doctor was a quack and he just messed me up, or oh, this doctor was brilliant and he made me look gorgeous, or this doctor was real and he told me the truth that, you know, even with the surgery and this, you're not going to be like this perfect model, because, you know, that's just not realistic. So, you know, and it's not, and that's what my doctor told me. There was two doctors there, and they told me, you know, you have fat on the inside and you have fat on the outside. So the fat on the inside is up under your organs, like up under your liver and your pancreas and all of that. He said that fat is going to be there. It's going to stay there. The only way you can get rid of that fat is to lose weight. The other fat is the fat that they can suck out. Now, they can only suck out so much, first of all. And depending on what state you live in, there are laws that say, you know, that they can only suck out so much. And it's, you know, to be safe and to be healthy. Now, a lot of people will go out of the country and get this done and get a whole lot more sucked out or whatever, but, you know, I wanted this to be safe. I wanted my doctor to be board certified. I wanted him to know what he was doing. I wanted reviews from people who had these procedures. I wanted to see before and after pictures with clothes, without clothes. I wanted to make sure he knew what he was doing. And my doctor, his name's Dr. Kendall Peterson, matter of fact. He has another plastic surgeon. They work together. So I had a consultation with both of them, and they were very realistic. You know, they were telling me kind of what I'm going to look like. You know, I'm not going to have an hourglass figure because, of course, like I said, I don't have hips. So that curve at the bottom isn't going to be there. But he said he could, when he does my lipo, make my stomach go in a little bit on the sides. And I guess it's like a little more at the top, and then it come out a little. So there is a little bit of a curve versus my stomach being like this, my hips being like this, and of course the top being like this. Because basically I was like this, this, and then this. And then come down and I've got those really, really skinny legs. I've always had skinny legs. I don't know what that's about. I don't care how much weight I lose. The first place I'm going to lose weight is my legs. So that was part of my problem, losing the weight in my stomach. Is like, if I lose weight, it's going to go to my legs and not my stomach. And I don't want to lose weight in my legs. They're already too little. So I'm still having an issue with that because my legs are so small. But anyway, so I did the research, and, you know, I looked at the recovery process, you know, the recovery time, what happens during the recovery time. Of course, I asked the doctors all of that. They explain all of that. And then I did so much research online trying to find out all of this. I wanted to be prepared, and I wanted to make sure that this was something that would be right for me, safe for me, and be look appealing to me. You know, I wanted to look a certain way. I mean, of course, I couldn't look exactly like an hourglass figure. We all want to look like that, of course, but I couldn't look like that. But I knew I wanted to look thinner in my waist, and I wanted that second stomach at the bottom to be gone. I could not fit regular pants for years, which was one of my main things. I wanted to be able to fit clothes off the rack. Because my stomach was so large, I would wear a size 16 in pants, but because I had no butt, if my pants were not fastened, I could actually wear a size 6 in pants. So think about that. I could wear a 16 or a 6. So it was really awkward for me to wear pants. At one point, I was wearing maternity pants because I had that elastic in the waist, and so it would fit. And, you know, because if I tried to have a zipper and a button or, you know, some kind of closure at the top, it was always digging into my stomach because I had to get it small enough to fit my butt, but I needed it to still be big enough to cover my stomach. So me buying clothes was just a mess. Buying pants, it was just a mess. So what I did for years was I would always wear very long shirts to cover up my stomach. I hid my stomach the best way I could. I would wear either jackets or very long shirts. And it just looked weird because, like I said, my legs were skinny. So if I wore leggings, you know, you still got this big thing and then those skinny legs. And they have a shape and they call it a pear shape. And I guess that's still not my shape because a pear it's skinny, then it goes out and round like that. But then they don't show the little skinny legs. But I'm not that skinny at the top. Remember, I'm big at the top and then I'm bigger. So there really was no shape. You know, I used to go online and try to figure out what shape I am, because they have different shapes for women. You know, they have the round shape, the pear shape, the long skinny shape, and I didn't fit into any of those. And because I didn't fit into any of those, it was hard for me to buy clothes. So I was always buying clothes that were either too big, too little, or just they were not appealing to me. Needless to say, me trying to get in a swimming suit was another issue. couldn't wear a bikini with my stomach being like that. Trying to purchase a one-piece suit, you usually have to, it usually goes by your bra size, you know, or it'll have a hip size. But because my bra size and my hip size were so different, it was hard to even buy one piece. So if I get it to fit my bra size, then it's kind of sagging on my hips. If I get it to fit my hips, then I'm falling out of it at the top. So trying to get a swimming suit was hard. So I used to get those one pieces that have the little skirts at the bottom of it to try to cover up some of my stomach or whatever, but never looked good in a swimming suit. So I finally made that decision. I'm going to get me a tummy tuck. I am going to get me some lipo with it, you know, and see what happens. So I did my research. I found Dr. Kendall Peters. They are located in Orlando, Florida. And there's actually two Dr. Kendall Peters. There's a father and son, and I have the son. Nothing but good reviews on him. And you know, what was funny was the day we went into surgery, one of the nurses said, you know, he's very anal. He's very particular about how he does his stuff. He tries to really make sure everything is right. I'm like, ooh, good. I like him. I want him to make sure everything is right. You know, I don't want somebody to just go in there and half-ass do it. You know, I don't want somebody to just do it, you know, like everybody's surgery is the same. We just do this and do this and do that. I want him to tailor mine to my body. And that's what he did. And I appreciated that. I appreciated in the consultation how he advised me that, you know, even though you want the breast reduction and you want the tummy tuck and you want the lipo, I don't think it's safe. He said, I mean, I could do it for you, but I would not recommend it. He said you could do your tummy tuck and lipo and come back later and then do the breast reduction. So when you have surgery, part of your payments are you pay your doctor for what he's doing, you pay the hospital for their part. So I would have had to pay the hospital twice. I would have had to pay for anesthesia twice if I had did it that way, you know, versus I'm already in the hospital, I'm already under anesthesia, let him go ahead and do his thing. But it wasn't about the money. It was about my safety, and my health. So I have a lot of health issues, so I wanted to make sure I was healthy and that I was alive in order to enjoy this new body that I was gonna have. So I decided to not get the breast reduction, and at least not yet, and I still don't think that I am. It was funny, I was talking to a lot of friends of mine about the breast reduction, and they were like, wow, you know, people are going every day trying to enlarge their breast and, you know, they think it looks sexy, and here you are want to reduce yours. I'm like, well, I still would have wanted it reduced to a sexy number. I mean, the bigger you are, in my opinion, doesn't mean the sexy you are, because I'm a lot bigger than the, you know, the 36 or the 38. So that wasn't sexy to me. However, they were saying, get you a good bra, you know, get you some push-up things or something, and you'll be fine. You don't have to spend all that money for breast reduction. I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. So I, as you can see, I am very well endowed. And if you get a really good bra, it does help. So I invested in some more bras, and I decided not to have the other surgery. Because of health reasons, I have some type of surgery almost every year anyway. So that was an elective surgery, and so I said that I'm not going to have more surgeries than I need. I'm tired of having surgeries. I'll be 60 in a couple months. I'm tired of people cutting on me. I've had about 21 surgeries. I am tired of surgeries. And then they're talking about doing another one on my throat. So I'm like, any surgeries that I have to have will be something I have to have. You know, I may have to have a knee replacement soon. So I'm going to save all my surgeries for have to have surgeries versus elective surgeries, okay? So anyway, during my research, I found out different things that you, like I said, during the recovery that you have to do or before. So if you really want to have these procedures and you want to be smaller, it's best to lose weight prior to your surgery than after. Because if you lose weight, your skin is going to start to hang a little. And because with the tummy tuck, they pull that skin down and tie it tight, you want to, that fat to already be gone before they pull that skin down. And you'll have a better look, okay? I was weighing 198 when I went in for my surgery. I currently weigh 168. I said I will never go over 170 again. I am 5'6", and that weight is still overweight. But like I said, when I lose weight, I lose it in my legs. So I'm not trying to lose any weight. You know, I still have some, what do they call those things on your back? Back fat. I still have back fat, and I still have some of the bra rolls up there. Now, when they did my liposuction, they did take out some of the bra rolls, but we'll get into that and I'll show you different places on me that they did. But I'm sorry if I keep getting off, but it's a whole year that I'm trying to get in here. So needless to say, this video is going to have another part to it because otherwise it's going to be an extremely long video. But so one thing that I found out in my research was that during the recovery process, you're not allowed to lay down. I'm like, okay. So they said, I think it was just for the first week, they want you to sit up in a chair. So thank God that I have a reclining so thank God I have one of those leather reclining chairs, and it goes back and put my feet up. I wasn't sitting all the way up, but I could sit a little, you know, and I was able to sleep like that. If you don't have a reclining chair, they ask that you just prop yourself up in the bed with a lot of pillows, you know, and try and sit up that way and sleep that way. It's really uncomfortable that way. And they don't want you to lay on your side. Of course, they don't want you to lay on your stomach, so you're on your back. I mean, you can't lay on your side because remember, you have stitches that are on your side. You also have these drainage tubes that are coming out of your body, and you don't want to lay on the tubes and things. So, yeah, you gotta sit up during the recovery. They also want you to wear these garments that it's similar to a girdle. They are called fajas. It's similar to a girdle, but it comes all the way up here, and it's real tight. You know, you put it on, it's a one-piece thing, and they usually have all these straps and things. I'll show you one. And it holds you in because, you know, like I said, you've been cut from here to here. Last thing you want is it to open up and everything fall out. But anyway, it holds you in, it holds you tight, and it helps that skin. Remember I said that skin is actually lifted up off your muscles. You want that skin to go back down on your muscles and grow back together, you know? So it's pushing that skin together. It's helping drain any fluids that you have in, out of your body, because you will be swollen. You will have lots of fluid in your body, and you want all of that fluid to come out. And it takes a while for the fluid to come out. So you don't go into it with the expectation, oh, I'm having surgery today. Tomorrow I'm gonna go from here to here. No, when you have your surgery, you're gonna swell up. You might be even bigger than you were the day before you had your surgery because of all the swelling, because of all that liquid. So all that liquid has to come out. And like I said, the faja helps with that. It helps squeeze like the liquid out, basically. Those drainage tubes, they help get the liquid out, you know. So there's a lot of preparation that you have to do before. I had to get pajamas that button down the front so that I can easily open my pajamas instead of trying to lift things over my head, because trying to do those drainage tubes, you know, I had to keep my pajamas open. So I had, and I'll show you my pajamas. Let me see. Let me write this down. I want to show you my pajamas, my faja, and what else did I tell you I wanted to show you? If I can find it, my compression girdle that they sent me home with. They send you home with a compression girdle, you know, to hold you before you put that faja on. So you wear that compression girdle for the first week, and I think then you put the faja on. I'll take a picture of the chair. I mean, you don't need to see the chair. It's just a leather reclining chair. But anyway, I'll show you some things. But I do want you guys to come down in the comments. So when I get to part 2, I can answer a lot of your questions in part 2. But I'm gonna still go through the journey. Like I said, it's a whole year process. So there's a lot that went on, you know. And I'm not doing this to scare anybody. I'm not doing this to get anybody's hopes up that you're going to, be this model, have this perfect figure or anything. I'm doing this to tell you my journey. I'm doing this to give you realistic expectations. I'm doing this to help you do this safely, you know, because this is one of the best things I've ever done. And like I said, I was 58 when I did it. I wish that was I 59? No, yeah, 58 when I did it. I wish that I had done it 30 years earlier. Oh my goodness, I wish that I had done it 30 years earlier. But like I said, I couldn't afford it back then. And this time, what did it cost me? It cost me $12,000, and that included the doctor's fees, the hospital fees, and everything. So it wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought it was going to cost a lot more, and that was all right. And you have to find ways to pay for it. You know, if you don't have the money to pay for it, most of them do have financing. Or you can use credit cards. You have to do what you have to do for you, what's comfortable for you, okay? So thank God that I was able to get it paid for. Thank God that I came out of it healthy. Thank God that I had a good surgeon. So I am going to get some of these things and show them to you. And I am going to have a part 2, like I said, and we will continue in part 2 with those items. Okay? So I will see you next time with part 2 of my tummy tuck and lipo journey. See you next time on Living Life with LaVon. Bye.